Did you know that OF models made $6.6 billion in 2024? The sad part is these OF models are posting over sexualized content. But guess what? You help fund that. Even if it was just a scroll, looking at TikTok thirst traps, thick IG models, and of course, actually paying for the OF subscription. But this isn't just a stat. It's a sign that lust is ruining lives. So today, I'm going to be explaining to you 10 ways lust is destroying your life. Most people ignore the last one and go broke from online strip clubs, so make sure you watch to the end. Point number one, lust steals your time. Think about it like this. Every time you're indulging in lust, whether it's watching porn, whether it's chasing women, when you do these things, you're dedicating time toward putting energy and effort into getting your rocks off, into maybe trying to get that ass. That shit is draining your time. What could you have been using that time for? Man, you could have been going to the gym, getting your body on point. You could have been making sure that your work was done, doing some maybe content if you're a content creator, some deep work, pursuing some type of passion, doing something more productive, and that will bring you a lot more vibrational energy, a lot more fulfillment than going out and wasting your seed on a pointless girl on what? Instagram, TikTok, or maybe chasing that girl that you know damn well isn't paying you any mind, but you just think you can finally get her. You can just go ahead and finally get her to take you seriously, knowing damn well she's not, because you're not taking yourself seriously. That's the problem. Lust is stealing your time. And here's the thing, that time, you can't get it back. I say this a lot. 5 seconds ago, we can't get that back. 10 seconds ago, we can't get that back. All the time you've invested into trying to finally get that nut off, to finally get that girl, all of that lustful energy you spent, you can't get that time back. That's why time is your most valuable asset, because no matter what you do, you can't get it back. I don't care if I could buy 100 Apple Watches, 100 diamond fucking Paddocks, APs, Rollies, whatever the case may be. As many watches as I buy, I can't get it back. I don't care if I was to ice out my watch. I can't slow down time. That is the one thing you can't get back. So it's important to protect that time and get these bugs out your damn face when you're trying to record videos and actually do something more productive with that time. And that leads me to my next point. Point number two, lust kills your motivation. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was so fucking infatuated with lust. I was so deep in trying to chase all these women before, sitting here watching all of this corn, wasting my time with it. And after I got done with it, I felt like shit. I didn't feel like doing anything anymore. I was so motivated when I started off the day. I was so ready to take on whatever life had for me. But guess what happened? I woke up. You know what happens, as a man, you wake up, you rock hard, you're probably, got those urges going through your mind. And I used to give in to them a lot. I used to just say, fuck it, let me just get this one off. And that low key killed my motivation, because I told myself I wasn't going to do that anymore. I was a person who didn't do this. And I took action and actually did it anyway. That killed my fucking motivation for the entire day. And even though I probably got some work done, it just didn't feel good. It felt like, wow, I lied to myself. I basically I shot myself. That's crazy. That's a crazy, crazy lisp. Shot myself in the foot. I basically shot myself in the foot because I told myself I wasn't going to do it, and I did it anyway. That is an example of ruining your confidence, literally lying to yourself. Because how can you be a person who's confident and then just like that, you go against what you say? You don't trust yourself anymore. You stop believing in yourself because you know deep down inside you weren't doing the things that you said you were supposed to do. That's why it's important to understand these things. And that leads me to point number three. Point number three, lust weakens your discipline. This one was a big one for me, man. All that time I was spending chasing ass. I remember it was a time where I was, trying to, get in with this girl, and her little sister came into the room and almost shot me. You know what I'm saying? All of these crazy situations I've been in. That shit was draining my time and also my discipline because it fucked up my time management. This is something a lot of people don't talk about what lust does to you. When you keep on indulging, you're like a fucking freaky ass wildebeest trying to get his rocks off. God damn it. Your time management is all over the place because you're spending your time what? On these porn apps, watching porn all day, or you're making calls, you're texting women. You're not focused on the things you should be focused on. So it was ruining my discipline. I wasn't getting up, fully ready to go crush the day. First thing, oh, read, journal, gym, deep work. No, it wasn't like that because my day got pushed back. That's why it's important to manage your time properly, because if you don't manage your time properly, your time will manage you, and it won't be properly. It's however it sees fit. It's however it sees fit. It doesn't care about your to-do list. Time's gonna do whatever the fuck it wants. It's gonna keep going. It doesn't slow down. We already talked about time. It does not slow down. You can't get it back. Manage it properly or it's leaving you. God damn, that's one hell of a relationship right there. It's like, damn, if I don't manage you properly, you just gonna leave me. You ain't gonna give me a chance. That's what time is. So it's important to have a strong relationship with that time and be disciplined. Otherwise, you're not gonna get very far in life. You're gonna keep falling and failing to your desires. You're gonna keep relapsing, and it's not going to feel good. Point number 4: lust makes you emotionally weak. When you're allowing lust to control your thoughts, your desires, blah, 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 you're allowing it to control your emotions. Now you're acting in a very horny ass way. You're literally becoming the type of person who has these urges go through their minds. And every time they go through your mind, you're giving in. You're giving in to desires. You're watching that porn again. You're going out, you're hopping on the dating app, swiping left and right out of pure lustful intent, knowing you're not going to take these women seriously. You're just trying to get those rocks off. And you're going out into the world. Maybe you even take a step farther and actually talk to more women. But guess what that does to you? Yeah, you had a corn addiction. Now you're going to go out and talk to more women. You're probably going to do things, lead with lustful intent. And now you're going to develop something called a sex addiction. That's what I did. And that's what I'm trying to keep you from doing. That's why it's important to be in control of what's going on up here. You can't allow these emotions to control you. You can't. Every time you do, you're going to get fucked up in the end. I'm telling you. Think about it like this. The person 5 years from now who doesn't allow lust to control their life and is in control of their emotions versus the person who allows lust to control their life, who gives in to every desire, every impulse. Every time they see a girl with a fat ass, they try to holler. Every time. Who do you think is going to get farther? It's not going to be this person thinking lustfully, because that person who's not thinking lustfully is disciplined, is focused, is doing the things he's supposed to do, is making the money he's supposed to make because he put in time to his business, his craft, or whatever the case may be to make it work. And now he's seeing the fruits of his labor. That person over here who's just chasing ass all day, watching corn, he's not going to get far. He's literally going to strip clubs, probably wasting all his damn money. He's on these, websites still scrolling. Matter of fact, he's probably not even going out talking to women. He's in his room all day, just jacking off. A homeless person in a tent, jacking off, just trying to get the next nut. He's going 10 rounds total with his bare hands. I'm telling you, that's what's going on. You got to think like that. So, which version of yourself do you want to be? Do you want to be the best version of yourself, or do you want to be the worst version of yourself? It all starts with controlling your emotions. That leads me to point number 5. Point number 5, lust kills your ambition. We already talked about how it kills your motivation. But let's talk about the bigger picture here. Your ambition, your purpose, the thing that God has put you on this earth for. The same way it kills your motivation, it drains you of your energy. After you get done busting that nut, after you get done chasing those women, you finally have to go back and confront your calendar. Wow, I was supposed to get this done today. I was supposed to get this done. Or maybe you have a big dream of being something great. Maybe the next basketball NBA player, maybe the next, NFL player, maybe a great content creator, a millionaire, an entrepreneur, whatever the case may be. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, wow, I just let lust distract me from going after what I really wanted. Now I'm wasting my time and not putting that time into my ambitions, into my passions, into something greater. Instead, I'm sitting here wasting my time. And then you're gonna look back at all the times you wasted time. You're gonna remember. You're gonna probably have some fucking crazy stories, just like I did, of times you wasted your time thinking lustfully, thinking with your dick instead of your head. Now you're sitting there like, wow, what can I do now? Well, let me tell you this. There's always a chance to get better, right? There's always a chance to, finally say, okay, I'm gonna take steps in the right direction today. But you can't keep going back to old ways. You can't keep going back to the old you. That's the old you. You have to step into a new identity and become the new you. Otherwise, your ambitions are going to be killed. They're not going to go anywhere. These great big dreams you have, the purpose that God's putting you on this earth to serve, you're not going to be able to fulfill it if you keep allowing lust into your life and you keep allowing it to control you. You have to control it, control your mind, and control your desires. Point number 6, lust lowers your standards for women. When you allow lust to seep in, to get in your mind, think about the type of women you're attracting. You're not attracting high value women, you're attracting low quality succubus that want to drain you of your spirit, that wants to drain you of that sexual energy, that want to drain you of the peace that you could have had. These women that you're attracting, yeah, at first it's gonna seem so fucking great when you're somebody who's never had a piece of ass in their life, who's never actually lost their V card, who's never actually, done anything with a woman. But once you get to a point where that's not enough anymore, you actually need some fucking standards now. You actually start to develop some standards. You actually want to extract value out of a woman because you're a valuable person. You're gonna give value to them. You want some value too. It's not just about sex anymore. Once you get to that point, think about it like this. Am I going to keep allowing these low quality women to come into my life? Drain me of my peace, my spirit? Drain me of the time that I could be dedicating to my goals? Or am I going to higher my standards? You got a choice. You can either keep the bar low or set that motherfucker higher. And as you keep leveling up in life, I'm going to be real. If you keep setting that bar low, you're not going to level up at all, because every time you try to level up, and you don't raise your standards of people you deal with, not even just women, but people in general, you're not gonna grow. That's why it's so important to truly understand what lust is doing to you. You can't keep fucking on these low quality, low value women who don't have any goals, who don't want to do anything with their life. They just want to smoke, get high, drink, have, short-term fun, go out, party, do all this degenerate, what the fuck did I even try to say? Degenerate bullshit, and just fuck up their lives. You can't be dealing with those type of women if you're trying to build something great. And I had to understand this. I'm gonna be real with y'all. For the past, few weeks, I've been on these dating apps and I've been going out talking to women, really just trying to, make sure my mouthpiece on point. I'm finna be out here doing a lot more entertainment content, talking to women, going out socializing, things of that nature. But what I noticed is that I was getting distracted. I was letting these women come into my life and distract me, throw me off my pivot. I'm supposed to be going on these dates. I'm setting up all of these different things with them, texting, hopping on the phone. I'm like, damn, hold on. And some of these women were low value. They weren't talking about shit. They were not trying to bring out the best in me. They were just talking about the bullshit things that they could get out of me, trying to benefit off of me. Maybe trying to extract some monetary gain. Maybe trying to extract some fucking time that I truly didn't have to dedicate to them at that certain time, because the time that they wanted me to dedicate toward them was for bullshit reasoning. They didn't want to actually do anything of value. They didn't actually want to, sit there, talk about the things I want to talk about. They were just using me for attention. And I understood that, because when it was time for me to go ahead and link with these girls, actually, hey, I'm finna come pick you up at this time, set up a date, they were flaking on me. That's when I knew, okay, I was dealing with some low value women. It's time to up my standard. That's why it's important to not ever do this. Don't lower your standards because you're trying to think lustfully. Don't try to vibrate on a low vibration when your vibration is higher. And that leads me to my next point. I'll say, hey, if you getting some value from this, man, drop 100 in the comments down below, man. I just want to know if y'all getting some value. Now, that leads me to my next point. Point number 7. Lust breaks your relationship with God. God is one of the most important things in your life, if not the most important thing in your life. If you allow lust to keep coming in and fucking up things for you, you're going to, I don't want to say disconnect, but if you just keep allowing lust and you don't do anything about it, you're going to disconnect from God. Because that's what lust does. It's one of the seven deadly sins for a reason. It's the cause of so many great men's downfall. And the reason it happens like that is because lust distracts you. And one of the biggest things it distracts you from is God. That's why it's important to always nurture your relationship with Him. That's why it's important to truly be in control of your mind. If you're not in control of your mind, I'm telling y'all, this world is going to corrupt you. This right here, your time is one of your most valuable assets. But another valuable asset that you have that can be used against you if you let it is your mind. If you're not in control of this thing at all goddamn times, I'm trying to tell you, and God, I don't mean to cuss, I'm sorry. You know, He knows my heart is right. It's pure and very good. But what I'm trying to really tell y'all is if you're not in control of this world is going to use, abuse, and just fuck you over. You're going to be exposed to things and you're not going to be thinking straight. You're not going to be leading with genuine pureness and just a great way of going about things. When you go ahead and talk to people, you're thinking lustfully. You know, you get around a group of guys, all they talk about is ass. You know, talking to these women. You know, they doing all of this. You know, all of these habits that aren't correlating with a better life that you had in mind. But no, you're gonna say, "Oh, fuck that. You know, these are my friends. These are my guys. I still want to hang out with them. I don't want to be alone." And that's your problem. That's your problem. And God's testing you because God will put people in your life to test you to see, okay, are you ready to grow yet? Are you ready to go to the next level? Maybe it's with a woman. He will bring in a woman who's probably your 10 out of 10 dream girl, quote unquote, but she lacks something called substance. She probably will tell you, hey, I don't believe in God. No, I don't believe in that. She's out partying. She's doing all of this degenerate bullshit. Maybe she's even believing in the man down below. God will test you just to see, okay, are you going to let your lust control you? Are you still going to deal with this being? Or are you going to distance yourself from that so you can achieve better, so you can attract better people into your life? And here's the thing. You are what you attract. So if you keep attracting negative, low vibrational people, you might just have to take a look in the mirror and see the things you've been doing. Seriously, I had to do that. I had to just say, wow, the reason I've been getting so disconnected from God lately, the reason I've been attracting low vibrational people is because I've been vibrating on a lower frequency. And if you keep asking me what that means, you know, maybe you're asking, well, okay, what's this vibration stuff? That means this, standards. When you vibrate on a low frequency, you're allowing bullshit into your life. You're not protecting your peace. You're allowing people to come in your life and just, you know, do whatever, have no standards. It's like you're not loving yourself. When you love yourself, though, you vibrate on a higher frequency. That's why it's important to love yourself. And a part of loving yourself is being connected with the man up above and not allowing lust to disconnect you from him. That leads me to my next point. And I know I'm spitting. Y'all know I'm spitting. You know, I'm sure I got to get out of this game. But that leads me to my next point. Point number 8. Lust makes you a slave to the algorithm. There are a few algorithms we can talk about. We can talk about the society algorithm, or we can talk about the social media algorithm. Let's start off with the society algorithm. All this sexualized bullshit, this nonsense. Hey, get off my camera. Oh. Man, hey, man, we be fighting bugs, but everything that's going on in society, all of these, you know, what the strip clubs, the parties, you know, the degenerate parties, the Diddy parties, you know what I'm saying? All of those, or even social media with the over-sexualized content, the movies. Come on now, the shit that's being put on these movies, the music, one of the greatest influences of human nature, probably. Music, the shit that you literally bring into your brain each time you hear it. That's why it's important to also watch what you listen to. The more you consume something, I'm trying to tell you, that's how they get y'all. Even what you're listening to now. But this is some good knowledge, some good consumption, because I'm trying to help you and let you know what's going on. But when you start consuming all of these things that are over-sexualized, lustful, distracting, things that don't get you closer to your goals. And I get it. Entertainment is a thing. You know, it's okay to be entertained, but goddamn it, it's another thing when you're allowing that entertainment to be the pinnacle of your life. It should never be the pinnacle of your life. You need to be focused on something greater if you truly want better. You say you want better, but you're not willing to do better. And sometimes to do better, you got to cut that shit out. Especially if you know you've been consuming too long. If you've been consuming too long, it's time to start creating. It's time to start creating the life that you know you want and deserve. Some people, they're going to hear that and they're going to keep on watching that porn. They're going to keep on doing the things that they know they're not supposed to be doing. They're going to keep smoking. You know, they're going to keep indulging all these bad habits and letting lust corrupt their lives. But for the people who actually do take action to control what they consume, to control what they bring in to their brain, they're going to go far. Now, you have a decision to be either that person who's going to go far or the person who allows lust to control their life. The choice is up to you. But that leads me to my next point. Point number 9. Lust corrupts your brain. Now, we just talked about this a little bit, but let's get more in detail. Lust corrupts your brain. It makes you objectify women. It makes you see women as pieces of meat that you can just, you know what I'm saying? And that's not the right way to do things because it prevents you from making genuine connections. Not even with just women. Not even with just women. With men, the men you surround yourself with. Do you really want to be around a whole bunch of freaky, horny individuals that are just chasing ass all day and not pursuing nothing greater? Is that your friend group right now? Ask yourself. Really take a look around you. Is that what you're surrounding yourself with? If so, you need to actually start surrounding yourself with better quality individuals instead of people who are not going to add any value to your life. I'm trying to tell you, a lot of these people out here, a lot of your friends, your so-called friends, are just there because you're bonding over trauma, lustful actions. Maybe, you know, you're smoking together, indulging in bad habits. You're trauma bonding. That's what it's called. Yeah, I got it. Trauma bonding. So instead of trauma bonding with, you know, people, let's start seeing people who want to do better. And I'm not saying you just got to cut off all your friends, but I am saying if they're not willing to elevate to that next level with you, you got to leave them. Otherwise, they're going to drag you down and you're not going to go up. You know, this is how it goes. You're elevating. They can either come up or they can stay down there. What you don't do is come down because that means you won't grow. That's what it does to you. Fucks up your friendships, your relationships. And we already talked about your ambitions, your motivation steals your time. It's corrupting your brain. That's all you think about. The corn you watch, you can't even go probably 10 minutes without thinking about fucking somebody, without watching some porn. You just can't. Every time you get away from that lotion, you shaky, bro. That's why it's important to get this shit out of your life before it's too late. But that leads me to my last and final point. Point number 10. Lust keeps you broke. Now, what do you mean broke? I'm not just talking financially. I'm talking mentally, physically, and spiritually. So let's talk about them. Financially, think about how your pockets would look if you were just so goddamn lustful, leading with so much lustful intent. You're probably paying for oil subscriptions, paying for corn subscriptions, paying for things that you know you shouldn't be paying for, going on all of these excessive dates with women you don't even really want to be with, you just want to have sex with. You're doing all of this shit. You're spending money trying to, you know, look good for the wrong reasons. You're spending money on things that can get you closer to fulfilling your lustful desires. That's how it's keeping you broke financially. Let's talk about mentally. It's stealing your time. It's stealing what you could have had mentally for you to go ahead and put into your craft, maybe content, maybe into self-improving yourself, reading, journaling. It fucks up your discipline. You're not going after what you want anymore. I'm sorry to say it. It's a lot of y'all in these comments or watching this. You probably have given up because you've allowed lust to become the thing, the pinnacle of your life, that one thing in your life that is keeping you from going after the things that you know you want. It's holding you back mentally. You can't get it out of your brain. It's a struggle. it's fucking you up, and you know it is. But you're gonna sit there and try to cope. Oh no, I can stop anytime I want. You can't because you won't be watching this video, or maybe let's say you could. Maybe you could. Maybe you can stop anytime you want. But why aren't you stopping? You say you want to stop. You say you want to stop being so lustful. You say you want to stop watching porn and chasing women, but you keep doing it. You know why that is? Because your subconscious mind doesn't believe you. Because you've allowed this shit to come into your brain and fuck you up. That's the mental damage it's doing to you. Physically, some of you aren't taking care of yourselves. You're not taking care of your appearance. You're not taking care of your face, your bodies. You're not even going to the gym. You're not doing anything to ensure that your body's right. You're eating like shit, eating all this bullshit. You know, you probably go to McDonald's, you know, order all these fucking burgers, fries, all this nasty shit, all this fast food, eating all these chips, drinking soda. You know, you're not taking care of your health. You give a damn about that. You know, so you get you some snacks, you know, probably some ice cream, and you go beat your meat. You're not taking care of your physical. And most importantly, like we talked about before, you're not taking care of your spiritual, because if you're not taking care of yourself financially, mentally, or physically, you're definitely not taking care of yourself spiritually, because it connects to all three of those things. All these things are connected, especially the spiritual aspect, because God sees all. He wants you to be better. He wants you to do things that will progress your life forward. So if you're not doing that, and if you're allowing lust to control your whole life, you're letting them down. That's why it's important for you to not let this shit keep you broken. It's important for you to understand that if you allow it, lust will break you in all types of different ways. Now, if you're someone struggling to stop watching porn or chasing women, I created my community to help you build real confidence and attract high value women. It's the first link in the description down below. Go ahead and join the community. And as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And hey, watch this next video on the screen, wherever it is, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.